What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the PHNX Suns pregame show presented by Michelob ULTRA. I'm Lindsay, that's Flex, that's Espo. Tonight, the Phoenix Suns will be facing off against the Sacramento Kings. It's a big one, you guys.
It is, and it's brought to you by our friends over at Michelob ULTRA.
I said that.
I'm just saying it again.
Oh.
Because it's 2.6 carbs and 95 calories and all taste. Anyways,
right to it.
Sorry.
No.
Right
I'm
to
a company man. I guess I got to crack it open.
You're not wrong. Mick Ultra it's a top-notch beer, top-notch beverage. It's a big one tonight. Frank Vogel, in his pregame presser, called this game against the Kings a, quote, tiebreaker game because of how it could potentially affect seeding down the line.
Yeah, I mean, they're half a game from each other, right? They're
6 and 7.
6 and 7 in the West, half a game. We all remember the last matchup, right? That big steal that we was at to take over, and the Suns came back from plus 20 down.
Got lucky.
Yeah, that was so. That's what we want tonight. We want to prove if that game was more luck, or if that was something that we figured out and we get through it. It's a tough team. Suns are +3 differential. They're slightly above a positive differential. I think they're at 0.5. And so good matchup. We got Royce now this time around. We'll see if that pays dividends. But yeah, it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, Kings have won 2 of the 3 matchups, so this is the rubber match. If Kings win, they do hold the tiebreaker. Suns win, they wind up tied for the year. So, yeah, I mean, it's extremely important because we've talked about it, how jam-packed this Western Conference is.
Yeah.
1 or 2 games will make the difference here, and tiebreakers will make the difference. I mean, hell, 1 through 4, last I checked, half a game separates them at most there, so all that could come down to tiebreakers. So being able to get wins like this are going to be imperative, through the rest of this regular season.
Yeah, no, very important. I mean, listen, I don't think we're going to be able to separate the Western Conference until the last week. I really feel that way. I feel like when you look at the schedule, you look at the balance of power, you look at how close everyone is, this may be one of those seasons where you're not going to really have a good feel for how the seeding is going to play out into those last 3 to 5 games.
Yeah, I'm not sure how close this matchup is, though, now, right? Because these are 2 teams kind of heading in different directions. Kings are 7 and 5 since the Suns came back on them. You look at the net ratings for these 2 teams. Offense, Suns are now 7th for the year. Kings have fallen to 14th, where the Kings were unbelievable offensively early on. And then defensively, the Suns are up to 15th in defensive rating. Kings are 20th. So the Suns are 11th overall, and Kings are 17th overall. So I think this will be a different kind of game than we saw in these first 3, where the Kings got the first 2 and then had the first 3.5 quarters in that other game. I don't think the Kings have a distinct advantage like they did earlier in the year.
No, I would agree with you on that one. I think things have kind of evened out with the fact that the Suns are now healthy. They've kind of turned the corner as far as the chemistry and just figuring each other out within the season. And they're adding new pieces. You brought up Royce O'Neal being with this team now. Royce O'Neal, Frank Vogel said pregame, they're looking at 15 minutes for him tonight. That's their goal. He played 11 minutes the other night. I know a lot of people in the chat are saying 15 minutes, that's crazy. Should be more like 20 or so. That might be the end goal, but the baby steps to reach that goal, I think it makes sense to kind of ease him in 11 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe closer to 18. And then around that 20 mark might be where he kind of hangs the rest of the season. But he doesn't know any of our stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he's still got to get up to speed on that. And that does make a big difference.
Yeah. I mean, offense and defense. He doesn't know the offensive plays enough. He doesn't know the defensive principles enough. And it's hard when you're playing a team like Sacramento. That's a good basketball team. So when you're going to experiment a little bit, you want it to be what? Why yellow?
I'm looking at you.
The chat.
Oh,
yeah. The chat said it looks like
Lindsay's foot is on the table.
My father texted me the same thing. He's watching.
Happy
birthday, Dad. Yes, your foot looks like it's on the table.
It's pretty good. I like
it. It does look good.
You
probably got a broken foot though. It looks
like
you
we
might.
Maybe need to turn it a little bit.
Goes along with
we got to reset
tonsils.
We got to reset Lindsay's foot like we got to do Brad's nose. But yeah, no, tough game. It's hard when you're implementing a guy like Royce with games like this because it means so much. If you're playing a lesser opponent like tomorrow against Detroit,
tomorrow,
give him 25 minutes. Yeah, give him
let him start tomorrow.
Right, but tonight is tough. So I get what they're trying to gradually get to where they want to get, which at 18 to 20 is about right for a guy that's going to be coming off your bench.
Yes. All right. So a lot of people are already asking about Thad Young, so let's just talk about it here real quick. Adrian Wojnarowski tweeted out, free agent. Thaddeus Young is finalizing a deal to join the Phoenix Suns, sources tell ESPN. More veteran frontline depth for the Suns' stretch and playoff run. Young has spent the past 2+ seasons with the Toronto Raptors. So everybody wondering if he's going to play tonight? No, because it's not official yet. So Woj has the scoop, but until the Suns send out the email and post on social media about it, it's not official with the league yet.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen, but it hasn't officially happened yet. And so we wait. But I like that addition.
Yeah.
I do.
I mean, that was something we were talking about on yesterday's show. He was one of the top choices from the umpteen million candidates we went down.
Yeah, Thaddeus Johnson is now here. Look, I think he makes a lot of sense and could wind up being a small ball 5 backup to Nurk because he's a connector like Nurk. He knows how to pass the ball very well and is a guy that can get those rebounds. Not gonna light it up offensively anymore. He's not, even though his last name tells you differently. He's not young. Yeah, he is. He's closer to flexing my age than a young man. But he is a guy I think can still have an impact with this team. Would I like Eric Gordon? Would I like to have had him 5 years ago? Yeah. When the Suns were interested, yes. But I think he can help them in this stretch run and maybe crack that playoff rotation depending on what he's able to provide. I think this, if I'm Drew Eubanks, may have me a little concerned because I think he can play a lot of those minutes.
Listen, this guy's just going to bring defensive smarts and a professionalism to that side of the ball that is worth a lot. It's worth a lot. Like I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're matching up against the Clippers or you're matching up against the Nuggets, you damn happy to have Thaddeus Young.
Well, think about it. You've now added Royce O'Neal and Thad Young in a position where you didn't feel confident defensively. Well, now you got 2 guys that not only are good defensively, but both can pass the ball as well.
That's right.
It's amazing how you may have been able to turn something that was a weakness into something that's a little bit more of a strength for you.
Okay, but the real question is, Big Merc asked, where do these signings put Bol?
Oh, Bol's fine.
How does this affect Bol?
I think Bol's fine right now. I do.
Yeah, I think he'll still get his opportunities. I mean, but again, we have felt like you can't fully trust him in terms of health or consistency. So we're not sure we can rely on you, but you're going to get every opportunity to prove to us that we can, I think.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it the other day. I think we were talking about the offense-defense variable. And defense travels. Offense doesn't. Right. So we're getting guys that bring the defensive side of the ball and Royce O'Neal and Thaddeus Young. And so offensively, you're not asking for much. You just want those guys to go out there and perform defensively.
All right. Mike Kafka sent us a super chat. Thank you. They said, Thad Young is a fantastic passer for a big man and keeps the ball moving. He is a much more logical backup to center than Nurk than Eubanks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, that's kind of the thing. I'm not entirely out on Drew Eubanks, but I do like now that he's got a little more competition.
Well, yeah, and
right. That can add a little fire under you too, to figure your stuff out, to do whatever it is you got to do, to contribute a little bit more or play harder. Like you got competition now.
And that's always good. It's always good to have competition behind lineups. The reason why I don't think Bo's in trouble is because Bo's not looked at as a center.
Yeah.
He's looked at as KD's backup. So Drew might have something to worry about with. But again, if Thaddeus Young is outplaying Drew Eubanks, it's a good thing. That means Thaddeus Young still got something in the tank. No.
Or it's a really bad thing for Drew Eubanks.
No, I mean, listen, I think we know who Drew is at this point. I think we kind of know who he is, and we know what he's going to bring every night. And so if Thad is bringing a level that's higher than Drew consistently, this is a fantastic signing. That's kind of what I want. Mm-hmm. If Thad is playing over Drew, that means we did a good job of bringing him in.
Well, I mean, and then there was still some talk of Danilo Gallinari. I don't think that makes sense. But if you go out and find a potential third guard or whatever it is, another potential ball handler, I think you could give them an A on everything they accomplish.
Yeah.
Trade deadline and buyout market, because you hit all those marks that you were hoping for there. Look, they've gotten better since last Thursday.
Yeah, a lot better, yeah.
All right, let's take a peek at the injury report for tonight's game. Thankfully, it is entirely clear for the Phoenix Suns. On the Kings side, the only update to this is that Chris Duarte is available. So a pretty light injury report for this one. Espo, what are the guys wearing?
They're actually going to be wearing the purple jerseys at home tonight, and I'm a big fan when we get the Icon edition. At home. Mm-hmm. And the Kings are wearing their association edition. These are one of the white jerseys I don't mind. I think they're clean. They got the purple font, the purple striping on the side. A whole lot of purple in downtown Phoenix tonight, and I actually like that. So,
do you remember what the uniform matchup was last time they played?
I do not.
I don't.
I got a feeling. I don't know why it feels like the same matchup.
I feel like they were wearing. I think the Suns were wearing the black statement.
Maybe.
Jerseys.
I feel like Sacramento was wearing that.
I think Sacramento was wearing a light color because Suns were either wearing purple or the black statement jerseys.
Okay.
All right, who you guys got tonight and by how much?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Suns by 6 tonight. I'm feeling pretty good about where this team is, and I think they're going to come out a little more fired up tonight just because of the way things happened against Golden State, and getting a couple days off helps too.
Yeah.
I like the Suns by 4.
I also have the Suns by 4. Gerald doesn't feel as confident as the rest of us, though. He's got Suns by 1, which is concerning too.
That is concerning.
I don't love that. All right, we did get another super chat from Mike Kafka. They sent us another $20, and they said, "I copied that from Espo." ...
That's my man. And you're paying to admit you copied it. I like that.
Well, to be fair, they did send the super chat in before we even went live. So
to be fair, I
he
did
copied
not read
you.
It. I did not read it, but great minds think alike, and I like it even better when you pay me to think like me.
The Suns did wear the black statement, by the way.
Look at that. Okay. Don't test
super producer Jacob.
Okay.
My guy.
And you got to stay now, Jacob. I'm sorry. You can't go.
Espo, what do our friends at the BetMGM Sportsbook app think about this?
It is a 4.5-point Suns favorite here. They're feeling fairly confident.
So they're saying me and Lindsay know what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, at least a little bit. I mean, Espo, you took 6, right?
I took 6.
So you think they'll cover?
Yeah, in the ballpark.
All right, I ain't mad at it. What are we all putting our money on now? That's the big question.
Boy, here we go.
We all been real boo-boo lately.
I'm pulling a flex. I'm going for broke. I don't want to be broke, but
oh my God.
Took Devin Booker exact first field goal as a 3-pointer at plus 2,200.
He just keeps
doing it.
Why
the hell not? Eventually, it's gonna hit.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe not, bro.
I was gonna take Domantas Sabonis to win the tip because last time I took it when we were at that game. Domantas hit it. It hit 3 other Kings, and then a Suns player picked it up.
That is true.
So I thought, and it was plus 300. But then I was like, I can't do my dog Nurk like that after everything he's been through. So I'm gonna go Book as a positive there.
All right, Flex. What about you?
Oh man, what do I got? Linz, you might have to hold on. Suns
Jacob
win.
made it bigger for you.
I can see a little better now. Suns win. The total points under is that 244?
244.5. Player points, Book 20 plus. Player points, KD 20 plus. Player points, Beal 20 plus. PRA for Nurk at 20 plus, and it's a plus 900.
Flex, you need glasses.
Do I?
You might.
You think?
You might.
You need glasses if you
We're
can't
just gonna
see
print
that.
shit out for you, old man style.
You might.
I might. So today I took the plus 900, Lindsay. I've been going with the 20s, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got a calculation. And what we got, 29 left?
Yeah, I
got
think
29 left. So I'm going my route for 9 more games. And then when we get to the 20 game, and then I'm going to start shooting these Hail Marys. But I got 2 horses in the race. I told you, I'm rocking with Lindsay. If Lindsay wins, I feel like I win. I just don't want these suckers.
Why do I get hate? I'm not like the other one.
Yeah, but you still talk enough trash.
Yeah, I just feel like a certain energy from when y'all hit. It's a different energy.
And it's also because when you've only hit twice and they've been like really big ones though, and so you get real uppity about it.
Yeah.
Which I get. If I hit a plus 3,000 Bradley Beal 3-pointer for the first game back, I get it. But I don't support it.
So. Espo is the greatest gambler in the world. Suck it, Flex. Suck it, Lindsay. Suck it, chat. Okay.
What you got tonight?
Straight, you didn't need it.
Hello said, what's the over-under on Lindsay having a plus bet? Well, tonight, I hope you took the over because it's a plus 280, y'all.
What?
And it's for total points in regulation to be between 231 and 240. Last game, it was 236. So I'm rolling
You
with
have
this
the
one
under.
again.
So you got the under like me.
Sure.
Well, we got to be room for the under.
But if I just took the under, it wouldn't be 280.
It wouldn't be 280.
It wouldn't be plus 280 odds.
No.
You got to get it between those.
Right.
You got a 9
You got a 9-point wiggle room there.
Exactly. So
I can see it. You know why I like that bet? Because the Suns play good. I thought they played good defense against Golden State. That you know what the over under was in that game?
No.
It was almost like 245.
Was it?
And they only got like. Now I don't even think they got 210.
It was 222, wasn't it? It was 112, 110.
Oh yeah, so they got a little
That's quick
bit.
math. 222.
They got 222. So my bad, but there was 20-point gap in that differential. So I think we carry that into tonight.
It's a good possibility. I'm rolling with it. All right, Saul didn't get his bet in on time, so he is rolling with the Suns money line. That's our baseline bet. We're gonna make sure he puts this one down. A minus 190. So he would make a whole whopping $5, which is a very Lindsay-esque bet.
It really is. By the way, Girth Jr., no, Eric didn't get fired.
Neither did Saul.
He got married. Saul's off gallivanting in Vegas and Disney. He'll be back
hanging out with Flavor Flav and stuff like that. Yeah.
If you guys want to get in on the action, sign up for BetMGM and make sure you use that bonus code PHNX when you sign up. You place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through the BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app of at least $5, and you're going to receive $150 instantly in additional winnings, regardless of your wager's outcome. So they literally just want to hook you up. You can check out the show notes for full details, and now you can listen to Damon talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms. This promotional offer is not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Get stuffed, Ontario.
I mean, I hope you hit 100 because that will get you back.
That'll get me back into the game a little bit.
Into the game, you'd be in the positive again.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's talk about some drama. Drama. So Draymond Green decided to go on his podcast today and say some things. Here's a little clip for you in case you missed it.
That's the same guy that laid out on the floor when I made contact. Bro, you 300 pounds. Get up off the floor, bro. If he actually didn't lay out on the floor like that, I actually don't get the suspension that I got probably. But dude laid out like he was dead. That same guy then goes and say he doesn't deserve another chance. How, bro? What an embarrassment. And they expect to win with that guy.
I think Draymond needs to get his money back from whatever counselor he saw while he was out those 11 games, because that doesn't scream growth to me. And honestly, I know that's a bit joking, but for me, mental health isn't something to be treated lightly. And I feel like the league, and Draymond kind of portrayed this as, we want this guy to get help. We want him to grow as a human. Sit out 11 games and nothing's going to change. Like he sits here and he goes after KD. He goes after Nurk. He says he doesn't understand why he was suspended. And then basically says he shouldn't have been if Nurk didn't flop.
Yeah.
To me, that screams of a guy who does not see any issue with his behavior and decides to go on a 12-minute, bitch fest on his podcast that proves that there is zero growth.
What's embarrassing is that there's zero accountability. Like, you literally hit Nurk. I went back and watched the replay again today because I was like, let me just make sure I'm not remembering this worse than what it was. Like, he literally wound up and kind of like a windmill almost with basically a backhand to Nurk. And it's like, bro, have some accountability for your own actions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he goes on in this podcast to continue like, oh, it's not even a playoff game. Like, I'm not going to get all up for a regular season game. And I'm like, yes, you did. And you're doing it here on your podcast too. Like, I don't know what's going on there, but like, the lack of accountability, zero like self-awareness, and also low-key insecurities. Like, don't get me wrong. Somebody in the comments said Nurk was doing a lot in the Warriors game. And 100% Nurk was. But like, this goes far beyond
what the problem is, Linz, is that, and y'all both been there, so y'all know what I'm about to say. When you're watching on TV, that's one thing. When you're down on the court, and you hear the shit they're saying, you're not picking that up. And I'm sure Draymond is talking all kind of craziness on the court to Nurk in that game the other night. So I don't want to hear that. Here's what I want to touch on. He kept talking about how Nurk has 6 points. 6.6 rebounds. That's what he kept saying.
And 4 assists, which is good for him.
Isn't Draymond known as a single double? Or single double
I mean, the dude played a whole damn season and averaged 8 points.
Yeah.
Like a whole damn season. Yeah. Like what are we serious? Yo, bro, you really gonna get on your podcast and talk about a dude scoring 6 points in a single game and you played a whole damn season and averaged 8 points? Mm-hmm. Like, come on, bro. Cut it out. And then he's running around acting like he's like, I played great. I had 15 and 7. What?
The thing is that it doesn't even matter how good or bad Draymond is as a basketball player. That's irrelevant to me. What matters is that you're making the NBA look bad. You're making this sport
making the Warriors look bad too.
You are. You're literally embarrassing them.
Look, and Draymond the player has been a great part of what they did to win. Draymond's antics are the problem, and Nurk, his behavior was outlandish, but I think it was strategic too, because he knew that you could get under Draymond's skin as well. But man, the lack of self-awareness is what bothers me with this. If he had come out in that podcast and said, look, I was wrong in the initial incident, but this was all ass backwards in this game, maybe it's different, but he was not like that at all. And he's sitting there and he's insulting Nurk, calling him the little guy, but then also saying he's fat, which I'm like, okay, so now you're body shaming for ridiculous reasons. He kept claiming, oh, he's 100 pounds heavier than me. He's like 120 pounds heavier than Clay. You go look, Nurk's 291 and Draymond's 230. Like, we're not, like, like, come on, man. Really? Come on, man.
Yeah. Also, Mike from Makes said, does Book bitching every shot make the league look good? There's a difference between complaining to officials and bitching about calls and literally hitting players.
Yeah, and I mean, when you miss a shot and you're talking to I'm talking about Draymond directly talking to players all damn game. I'm not talking about Book complaining about shots and fouls.
And we've complained about Book complaining too.
Yeah, we have, but it's a different thing. If you're complaining about shots with a referee and you're playing 48 damn minutes and all you're doing is talking trash to your opponent, I mean, yeah, I'd have gave him the too small too. Because probably before Nurk gave him the hook shot for the too small, he's probably on the other end talking, I mean, all kind of nonsense. So you just don't do what Nurk did just because. I believe Draymond was chirping and Nurk just got pissed off.
I don't care about the chirping. The guys talk, all this, the lack of self-awareness and the fact that, I mean, Draymond has done some immensely questionable things. Choking out Gobert. Hitting Nurk.
Below the belt shot.
Yeah, like
knocking the face off his opponent, his fucking teammate in practice.
There are levels to this, y'all, and if you can't understand that, I don't know how to spell it out for you.
But what really frustrates me, it pisses me off that he hid behind mental health, and the league hid behind, we want this guy to get the help he needs.
And then turned around and said it wasn't my fault, it was Nurk's fault for quote-unquote flopping.
And they try to make you believe that 3-4 weeks sitting out can change anything. Like, that's what bothers me. This isn't Draymond the player. This isn't because he talks. It's because of that angle. Like, don't cheapen the idea of mental health and getting help by that dog and pony show. Just say, we're suspending him. He'll come back. He'll probably do the same shit, and we'll probably suspend him again at that point. Don't tell me it's about mental health.
I got a quick question for both of y'all. Do y'all think, because I was talking to someone about this the other day, do y'all think it was the NBA's job to suspend him or the Warriors?
For which one?
For the one he just did on Nurk.
That's the NBA's job.
Damn.
You think so?
Yeah. Because that's who gets to dictate suspensions during seasons, right?
Especially when it's multiple.
The reason why I asked that question is because
when back in the day when he punched homie, and the league said that's an internal thing. You guys, that's on the Warriors to suspend.
Yeah. So the reason why I bring that up is it's always the league's job to give punishment for something on the court, but at some point, the Warriors got to step in and be like, that ain't enough. Like, I really think the Warriors, at some point, like the NBA now, he can get away with a lot of stuff now because I feel like the NBA knows they messed up. They didn't give him enough of a suspension or punishment or take it serious enough. And so now when he makes a mistake, if he does something else, the NBA is going to look like fools. So I believe they're just enabling him to do whatever he wants to do. I think when the team comes out and says, yo, enough's enough, man. Like, we don't care what the league got to say. You our player. You work for us. Yeah, we going to put the stamp down and say you down until we say you right.
So I totally get where you're coming from. And there's comments in the chat saying that it should be both the league and the Warriors. I think where it becomes a little bit of a slippery slope is if an organization does it, now other players could potentially look at that organization like, oh, well, you're not player friendly. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
So as a protection as a whole for all of your organizations and your franchises, I think for me, majority of that needs to come from the league. Now, do the Warriors need to have a very tough discussion with Draymond behind closed doors? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think that might be one of the reasons why franchises don't want to be in charge of dishing out punishment, essentially, is because then it can follow with a reputation.
I get that.
Rightfully so or not. It just is what it is.
The bottom line is the league needs to stop pretending that that mental health and all these things are important, because it's pretty obvious it's a commodity. That's all they care about. Can the guy go out there and impact the game? And if that's the way it's going to be, at least be honest and forthcoming with it. At least then it's not some charade. It's just very honest that Draymond Green can have a positive impact for the Warriors on the court. We'll put up with the antics. We'll suspend him again if he hits somebody. But don't parade out all these other things if it's not the case. That's the thing that bothers me. Yeah. Enough of this this sideshow with Draymond. Let him talk into the void. Let him insult Nurk. They'll decide it on the court if they see each other again. And I don't think Draymond will like the way it goes.
I mean, Nurk did respond. He tweeted some stuff out today, which is not surprising for Nurk. Said, all good, baby boy. Just don't stay too long on the podcast. Going to be late for therapy sessions. Laughing face emoji. And then Draymond quote tweeted that with another link to his podcast. He was
promoting his podcast. Calling him little
So
guy.
I think it's fair to say there is legitimate bona fide beef between these two now. They do not like each other whatsoever.
And he brought KD into it now. So.
Right, which was like, come on. What?
Yeah.
Well, I agree. I don't think Nurk should
Just
have.
like kind of catching strays there for KD, it felt like.
Yeah, well, that's
Unless
obviously
there's something
a
I'm
personal.
not aware of.
They had a personal issue back when they were in Golden State, but then they did the podcast together and they act like they loved each other. And so
Draymond clearly don't love KD.
Yeah, he doesn't. And so it's kind of he said it was whack. I think it's whack as hell for him to bring KD into this when it was between him and Nurk. But
Look,
whatever.
I don't like Nurk mocking the therapy side of it either.
Yeah, I get it.
Fair.
But
That is fair.
I get
like
it.
in general, this whole thing, I'm so sick of this storyline. Draymond is obviously going to continue to be that same guy. The league's obviously gonna let him play until whatever the next incident is, and if it's egregious, they'll suspend him again. And let's not trot out the crap. They can have their beef. They can settle on the court as long as it doesn't get physical. I don't care how much they talk. Just go out there and play the fucking game. Like
Suns Warriors playoffs will be absolutely insane.
God, it's gonna have to be a play-in.
I mean, listen, I would prefer not to go that route. Like, I know, I get it. It would be fun, but I would like to keep all of my players healthy.
Safe. Right.
Injury-free.
Safe from Draymond. Right.
Injury-free.
I get it.
I don't know. Thank you all for hanging out with us for the pregame show. Don't forget to catch tonight's game on Arizona's Family Sports. You can see the game on Arizona's Family 3 TV and on Arizona's Family Sports Channel 44. And all you need is an antenna to catch the game. So wherever you live in Arizona, you can also visit azfamily.com and click Suns Games for listing information for your area. AZ Family is a great resource to help you find Phoenix Suns games on Arizona's Family Sports. Don't forget to meet us right back here after this one wraps up for the postgame show. Bye.